parting thoughts, any parting? So if I were to sort of, give you the space to articulate the many uses of a story, what are the 3 things that you're going back with? What would that be? Yes, Radhika, go ahead.
I love the way you said that stories need to be illustrative, descriptive, and not prescriptive. I mean, I go with that thing because I completely agree. Sometimes, even if it is here, you cannot articulate. So that sentence of yours is going to stay with me forever.
Yes, you will go ahead, use it, and tell her that I got it from Ritu Parna in a workshop, and she just said it exactly the way I look at it. Absolutely. Always illustrative, descriptive, never prescriptive. Because the moment you prescribe a story, you tell them what to think. You do not, and therein itself is the disrespect, the power, the authority that you have on your listener. You believe that you know more than them, that you are the one who holds, you're the custodian of wisdom and knowledge, and nobody else has that same wisdom or knowledge, and nobody can have that wisdom and knowledge, and they will always have to depend on you to give you a perspective. So Shikha will know this when I talk about power politics. In a storyteller and a listener, we believe that we as storytellers are more powerful because we know how to entertain. We have the stories, we have the wisdom, we have the repository of wisdom and knowledge through generations. That's what we've grown up with, right? Or we know of storytelling. But to be in a storytelling position, to stand and command that empathy or that willingness from a listener to invest in your time is actually giving the power is in the listener's hands, right? So the moment you prescribe, you are still working with the authority that you know everything that has to be taken in the story, and you figure it out, and you are there to teach everyone everything, right? Which is not the case. I have found such wonderful perspectives from children, things which I have missed in a story.
True.
Wonderful things, and that's where story selection becomes an art. I believe that you have to be willing to let your audience lead you into telling you what that story means.
True.
Yeah, and how it can be used in many different ways. Wonderful. Thank you, Radhika. Anyone else who would like to share their learning? Yeah.
I am going to take away everything because, like I said, I've just started. So I never thought about this thing, like me saying this in the end would have such an effect that I'm actually blocking their mental, their mind, that the story only goes this way, it cannot go that way. You told me how a simple story, say of Sheikh Chili, is for say for a 5-year-old also and for a 50-year-old also. So I never even thought about it like that.
Thank you. Wonderful. Great.
So the way Ritu you put forward both the stories, it's like an onion, so many layers.
Yeah.
So you have
stories are like layers. Yes, that's the beauty of it.
But sometimes you need a facilitator to take you into that journey to open each layers. So so you did that work today so well.
Thank you. Wonderful. Great. Shikha, Vasumita, would like to say?
So I was saying seemingly unrelated stories have this connection. How the hare and the tortoise has connected so beautifully to the Mullah Nasruddin story, because we're talking about race, we're talking about reputation, we're talking about peer pressure, and we're back to it. So I'm going to take away that. So how we can take a bunch of stories that are not looking like they're related at all, and we could just delve into them and come back with common connections. Yeah.
There's a reason why you could do that. You know why? Yeah. I know why it happened. I know why it happened. Because that first story was on the top of your head.
Yeah.
So what you were feeling for that story, the emotions that it ruffled, the thoughts that it ruffled. So when you listen to a story, there are 2 things which happen. You feel emotions, and there are certain thoughts that you have because of those reactions. So because they were heavy on your head and heart, you carried it on to the next discussion, because when I give an intimate space to discuss one story with each other. Right? So from being in a larger room with more participants, to going into a closer, intimate space where the listening and the telling is the most intimate, because there's only one person.
One person.
So therefore, you can take away more things from it, and you bring those experiences. And again, the idea that we were in a shared experience, which means we were all listening and telling the same story, questioning and debating it. So which is why there is already a reference point, not just the application of what we are doing, but also the emotions.
Right.
Correct? So which is why you naturally picked up stories which would have a certain resonance to that. There's a reason.
Yeah.
The reason why you picked up the story that you did, and like you said, you discovered, they're connected, that we can connect these stories. There's a reason why it happened. And it's because the stories were working inside you. It wasn't me, it wasn't you, it was just the stories. Great, Shikha.
So, not just this, earlier also, like what I have learned out of stories, whenever it's like the story comes to me, and then I go and tell the story, but how it connects to the audience or the people around, leave it to them. Normally, we try to tell them what we think. Don't you just feel what you want to feel and let them feel or take whatever they want to take from the story. Then what happens is like you get a lot of different perspectives. So, like thinking in advance that what my audience should think while you are planning for the story is not a good idea, that I have learned from Rituparna. Just think how it works over you, and then go and tell the story.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. So I think, that's great. Thank you so much to all of you who sort of very willingly participated as well as shared your ideas and you were willing to be led by somebody to look at stories differently. That's, I think, the onus goes to you.